Israel looks inwards. Jerusalem. As elections loom, the focus will shift to domestic politics. Anshel Pfeffer, Israel correspondent, The Economist. If the two ceasefires Donald Trump imposed on Israel in 2025, with Iran and with Hamas, continue to hold going into the new year, then in 2026 Israel may finally have a period in which it can deal with its internal affairs. But it is not at all certain. Both wars have ended, or are at least paused, but are far from concluded. Iran's nuclear and ballistic missile programs were seriously damaged in the 12-day war in June, but could be resurrected. In Gaza, despite the bloodshed and destruction of the past 2 years, Hamas is still the most powerful party on the ground. It will continue to dominate Gaza unless a serious peacekeeping force can undertake a credible decommissioning process, as envisaged by Mr. Trump's peace plan. Israel's next election must take place by the end of October. Benjamin Netanyahu, the long-serving Prime Minister, will fight yet another desperate campaign for re-election. His bloc of hard-right and ultra-religious parties is trailing badly in the polls, but he has one big advantage. As Prime Minister, Mr. Netanyahu can, to a degree, dictate Israel's security agenda to his political benefit. Many Israelis are convinced that he has already done so, holding out against previous ceasefire deals until Mr. Trump forced his hand, and prolonging the war in Gaza to avoid a drubbing at the ballot box. But while liberal Israelis have been protesting against Mr. Netanyahu's suborning of Israel's national security to his own narrow political interest for the past 3 years, the real limit on his power comes from the White House. Mr. Trump prides himself on ending the wars in Gaza and Iran and will not want Israel to resume either of them. This creates a political dilemma for Mr. Netanyahu. He is heavily invested in presenting himself to Israelis as a close partner of the president and cannot afford to cross Mr. Trump. But admitting to Israelis that the wars are over, even temporarily, also means admitting that Israel has failed to achieve the total victory Mr. Netanyahu promised. Rather than solve this dilemma, he is trying to revive the polarizing debate that raged in Israel before the war in Gaza broke out, between the relatively liberal, mainly secular Israelis who support Israel's activist Supreme Court, and the religious right camp who want to diminish its power. If he cannot convince enough voters that he won in Gaza, Mr. Netanyahu will try to distract them with a culture war over the future of Israel's democracy. So even if, with Mr. Trump's help, further rounds of fighting are avoided in 2026, it is likely to be a year in which Israeli society is severely tested by a toxic election campaign. It may also prove to be Mr. Netanyahu's last political battle, given his age. If the voters finally show him the door, perhaps it could also be a year in which Israelis start to rebuild trust in the political system and some sense of national unity. Gareth Brown, Middle East correspondent, The Economist.